Against Rogue, because this person is actually showing Rogue, I think we're going to assume that it's going to be Bomb Rogue. I don't think we keep any of this. Snowfall Guardian and Brilliant Macaw are going to be weak. In this particular matchup. Viper could be good. We could trade the Viper, but if they have the weapon, being able to break the weapon and not take that 4 damage and potentially being able to break the weapon before they play a Snowfall Guardian could actually be pretty good for us, so I don't want to trade this. I want to hold on to it. It's just a 1-of in the deck. We'll go ahead and get our Sleep Breaker out. Ideally, we'd like to be able to go wide to pressure our opponent's health total. And we would need like a Clownfish in order to do something like that. Actually looking like a Boat Rogue. Got the Clownfish. I think we do just go wide. We can go Clownfish Amalgam. Generate some additional stuff. So now all of a sudden, Snowfall Guardian and Brilliant Macaw are actually going to be looking significantly better. Do we copy an Elemental? I guess we copy a Murloc. Maybe we can hit a cheap Murloc. Continue to go wide. Second Clownfish. And do we want to use the coin just to get it in play here? I think we do. This seems like a good use of the coin. We're going to go as wide as we can. We're going to be able to draw cards with the wind chills that we have in hand, and if we can hit some additional Murlocs, they're going to be cheap. So we've been able to develop a nice board for ourselves here on turn 3. Stormpike Rogue. Paul Cavern is the play, and we're just going to let our opponent make the trades here. We're going to pressure their health total. Could potentially be Reno Rogue. Haven't seen any duplicates yet, so they could be able to heal to full at some point, but they're going to be limited on how much they can actually clear. This is likely going to be, yep, second part of the boat. So they're going to have super cheap minions now. Scabs, not affected by that, which is good. Another wind chill, so we just want to draw cards. That's not a weapon worth breaking. Let's take the freeze here. A Neptulon. Actually, there's probably not... The only weapon that we could actually break with this would be, I guess, the crab weapon, which isn't going to be good enough, so we're going to trade to see another card here. Chain Lightning. So we can Chain Lightning on this, and it'll actually remove one of the 3/3s. I think we're going to hold off on that play. Just going to go ahead and use another wind chill, draw another card here. There's Cookie. We're going to go ahead and get Cookie in play. And we'll freeze our opponent's face. Could consider using the other wind chill, but I'm going to hold on to it. Next turn is likely just going to be a freeze with Snowfall Guardian, and we're going to get it down on the turn before. We're going to get it down on the turn before they could actually Scabs, so it's going to be pretty strong for us here. We're definitely swinging face. Actually, we're going full face here. We don't need to save any attacks. We're going to freeze the board. And we'll go ahead and get the Amalgam in play as well. And none of these are all that good. We'll take the Legendary. So we'll see what our opponent does here. Now, if they have Reno, they're going to go back to full, and we're not going to have lethal. Brilliant Macaw is actually going to repeat the battle cry from Amalgam of the Deep. but it didn't matter. Our opponent was pretty much on Reno or bust, if it was even a Reno deck. So actually I may have played a little bit too fast. That might have been a misplay, playing the Amalgam. I wanted to get the tempo out on the board. I wanted the body, wanted the extra card in hand, but then I actually overwrote the Snowfall Guardian Battle Cry on the Brilliant Macaw. So not knowing whether or not our opponent actually had Reno in hand, it was probably a misplay on my part. So we did win the game, but again, I do think that was a misplay. Unfortunate, but we still won. Our opponent's Priest, we're not going to know if it's Naga Priest or if it's Boar Priest until the game actually gets started. The only thing we would want to keep here is Wild Paw Cavern. See if we can find some early plays to go wide and be able to pressure our opponent. Clownfish will be a good turn 3. That trade kind of tells me that it is Boar Priest, which likely means this is going to be a very, very tough matchup for us. At this point, we're going to Clownfish on 3. And Wild Paw Cavern on 4, possibly into Gorlock Ravager on 5, just to be able to draw some Murlocs. It's actually Naga Priest. Interesting. That's a really nice pickup for us. That almost makes me think that we want to get out the Wild Paw Cavern because we don't want this thing getting big early and being able to kill us. Here's the Wild Paw Cavern. We're going to be able to heal it for 1 health every turn if it doesn't die. We're going to be able to freeze our opponent's big minion. We don't want to die to an early big bless minion from the Naga Priest here. We're going to have a Chain Lightning to be able to clean up potentially smaller minions like this. On turn 5, that's going to go to 3 damage. There's a Mutinous. Can potentially be good later on. Go ahead and freeze this guy. Pass turn back to our opponent. So we're getting power on the board. We're going to be able to hopefully clear our opponent's board, kill his minions. We've got 1 board freeze. If they can't go face, they're going to have an impossible time trying to kill us. They have to kill us with a big minion from board. No burn in the deck. We're going to be able to draw 3 Murlocs. That's going to actually thin our deck, which is going to be pretty good for us as far as hopefully being able to find like the extra Snowfall Guardian and Brilliant Macaws. Our opponent's going in on a big minion right here. We're actually going to be able to Chain Lightning to remove those, which is going to be good for us. And if our opponent continues to try to get 1 big minion, we're going to be able to keep it frozen. So buff on that, the Wig, 1-2, so now Chain Lightning does not kill it. And it just continues to get bigger, so... Chain Lightning, Chain Lightning. I think we're just wanting to draw cards here. I mean, Bless is going to give our opponent a really, really big minion. We're going to be able to freeze next turn. Could just try to eat something. Drawing cards is going to be better just because it thins our deck. We're going to need multiple freezes to be able to get through this. So we're going to draw cards. There's another Clownfish. 2 Amalgams, so we're just going to go as wide as we can. And I think this isn't elemental. We probably want to try to discover another Snowfall Guardian here. We'll be able to Amalgam twice. We'll take the Sleep Breaker here. That's going to give us 1 freeze and allow us to be able to cycle a card. And probably Loch Halar. There's a chance that we'll be able to play it at the discounted amount. So we're still just hoping to be able to clear our opponent's board. At some point we're going to have to Snowfall Guardian. if we're not just totally dead. Opponent likely looking for Bless here. Another Wig. Another Wig. Okay. Interesting. Second Snowfall Guardian, so we have 2 Snowfalls in hand. We can put this to 6 and this to 3. That doesn't allow us to be able to clear either one of those. So can we get away with one more turn? I think the play is going to be Sleep Breaker. We're going to freeze this, and then we'll be able to freeze this with this hit, and it's going to buy us more time. The problem is these are just going to continue to get bigger and bigger. But we really need to be able to find the Macaws. Again, just to be able to repeat the freeze effects and get big minions in play of our own. There's a Schooling. We don't have enough room in hand. And we're just going to pass turn here. Next turn, we likely have to Snowfall Guardian. Our opponent's not going to be able to kill us because their highest health minions aren't able to attack this turn. So again, just trying to freeze the highest health minions, because once that Bless comes down, they could potentially kill us in a single turn. More minions that are on the board is going to mean that our opponent can potentially board lock themselves, and then it's also going to mean that our Snowfall Guardians are going to be bigger. Potentially they could just land a Bless on the taunt here to be able to absorb a lot of hits, though. Was an interesting use of Wig. So I think I just want to clear up as much of this as I can and still not freeze, so I can Command of Neptulon, hit this twice, Chain Lightning here, this goes to 8, I can get this down to 3 health, and then it makes the Bless significantly less good. And we'll be able to clear up their highest health minions, so that's going to be our play here. Still just trying to be greedy with our freezes. And reducing the quality of our opponent's ability to Bless. Could take value trades here, but still just scared of a Bless. So we get this minion's health as low as possible. If they Bless, hopefully it means that they can't kill us in a single turn. They're going to start trying to develop a new big minion. We've been able to buy ourselves some time, which is exactly what we're going to need. We just need to be able to draw more cards. Our opponents almost board lock themselves. Again, they're going in just one big minion. Even if they hit the Bless, they're not going to be able to kill us with it. It's just not going to be big enough.
Pick me.
So our opponent is board locked now. It's going to make the freezes really good as far as Snowfall Guardians. There's Bran. So we can freeze, and then next turn we'll have Bran freeze, and that's going to be able to give us... that should give us enough damage to be able to finish our opponent. We're just going to pass turn. Make sure we don't burn anything. So our opponent just can't really do a whole lot here. So we're going to be able to punch face for 10, and then we're going to be able to Bran and Snowfall Guardian, and that's going to give us just a ridiculously big Snowfall Guardian to be able to close out the game here. So Bran and Snowfall is actually exactly 9. And we're not going to attack with the 10-10 here. The reason why we don't attack is because we don't want our opponent to be able to heal out of lethal range, because we would only have 21. So if we set him to 20 and a hero powers, this would be frozen and we would only have 21 damage on board. So by not attacking, we make sure that we'll be able to have 30 damage to be able to OTK our opponent on the next turn. So pretty solid game there. As you can see, Naga Priest should be a pretty good matchup for this deck, as long as you can get the freezes, make sure we don't die to an early bless, and then really just lock down our opponent's ability to be able to kill us, because they have to have a minion to be able to punch us in the face for damage. I'm Uncorrupt. That's explaining the plays Murloc Shaman, the control version. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, please subscribe, and good luck out on the ladder.